Alright, what is up, guys? I had just had to look at the models real quick. Anyway, back to 6 hours from now. This will be around 10, 11 o'clock tonight. We have 1004 low pressure center near North Carolina, which is affecting the eastern seaboard. Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, that's bringing some flood warnings, which will show the current conditions at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Wait, and then we also will have a 1001 low pressure center right here over northeastern Wyoming, bringing along snow and rain to much of the Rockies and parts of the Northwest. By the time we hit the 29th, as you can see, we have a 1003 low pressure center. Now we're a bit farther off from North Carolina. This is like, yeah, so this is like really early in the morning. And 996 low, basically the same spot. So actually, I'm gonna get this up a little bit, and then now we have a 1002 low pressure center over western South Dakota, bringing along some scattered rain and snow showers to the northwest and Rockies, and then a 999 low pressure center on the coast of Rhode Island and Massachusetts, bringing along heavy rain and snow to New England and parts of the Northeast. By the time we hit the 30th, we will see a 981 low pressure center off the coast of Nova Scotia, bringing along heavy snow, rain, and freezing mix to parts of Nova Scotia, Quebec, and eastern parts of Maine. Also, we have a 998 low pressure center, bringing along snow and rain to the Rockies, California, the Northwest, and then some mild snow up in Minnesota and North Dakota. By the time we hit the 31st, we have a 985 low, now positioned way over Quebec, and some generalized low that will bring along some rain showers across Pennsylvania, Ohio, and the Ohio Valley, as long as also in the Canada, such as Ontario and Saskatchewan. By the time we hit the first, we can see a 991 low pressure center over mainly northeastern Colorado, bringing along snow and rain showers to majority of the west, and some rain showers with generalized low just sitting over the Ohio Valley. By the time we hit the second, we have a new low that developed a lot. It is now a 993 low pressure center positioned over the tri-state area between Nebraska, Missouri, and Kansas, bringing possibly some severe supercells to the tri-state area and some snow directly above it. And now here's why I said that. It looks like we are going to get some storms, so I'm going to put this I'm going to put this right here, and we're going to request a downloading image. It dew points around the 50s, which might seem not good. But then look at the wind shear. The wind shear isn't exactly the best either. And yeah, I don't think much is going to happen. Maybe some general supercells in the area. But eventually, remember, that could get worse. And then by the time later in April 2nd, we could see heavy, heavy snow in Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nebraska, and Kansas, and heavy rain affecting areas of the Ohio Valley into the eastern seaboard and mid-Atlantic. By the time we head to the 3rd, this becomes a 998 low positioned over Ontario, bringing along rain and snow to much of the Northeast, parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley, and parts of the South too, which we can see some supercells, so we're going to check that out. Yeah, varies too much, so we'll have to see. By the time we hit the 4th, we have a 981 low positioned off the coast of Maine, bringing along rain and snow to the Ohio Valley and the interior Northeast with heavy snow in Maine. Then we have some general in Florida due to this very strong cold front and a deep cold bulge. Deep cold trough. And then we have a 993 low positioned over, I don't know what Canadian state this is. I live in America, so I don't know that. However, we have a low position over Western Canada, bringing rain and snow to Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, even parts of California. Then, by the time we hit the 5th, we have a 983 low position over Maine, bringing along rain and snow to much of the Northeast, and then a 995 low bringing rain and snow to much of the Rockies. By the time we hit the 6th, that low that we had was dissipated, and we have a 994 low position over northeast Colorado. And this bringing rain and snow to the Rockies will eventually develop, becoming a 998 low pressure over northern Colorado by the 6th. Sorry for yawning. Okay, by the time we hit the 7th, we have a 1,000 low pressure situated over the tri-state area between New Mexico, Arizona, and Oklahoma. Then we have a 1,005 low pressure center over North and South Dakota, bringing along some gentle rain showers, extending down in the Midwest into the South. By the time we hit the 8th, we have a 998 low in southern Colorado, bringing along rain across the Midwest and Southwest, and then we have rain and snow over the West due to this low, too. By the time we hit the 9th, it looks like we can see some severe cells across the Texarkana area. Texarkana, I don't know what it's called. 992 low bringing along snow. Kind of like in a circle faction. Let's see if we can see this for these areas. Yep, dew points in the 60s, with wind shear not really looking great. I think this will get more severe as time goes on. By the time we hit the 10th, yeah, this has gotten way more severe and became a derecho. So let's see if we can get a sounding. Yeah, we're going to have to shorten it down. Like this little area here. But you can see dew points in the 60s. And the wind shear actually isn't looking bad. So I suspect we could get some pretty good storms out of them. By the time we hit the 11th, we have a 984 low, bringing rain and snow all over the eastern part of the U.S., stretching from North Dakota to Connecticut, bringing along heavy rain and snow impacts to Canada and North America. This low gets really bad. A 981 low positioned over Michigan. This will eventually, thankfully, it weakens, but look at how much detail they have on that too. And eventually, by the time we hit the 12th, it weakens to a 984, bringing along rain and snow to Ontario and parts of the Northeast and Midwest into the Ohio Valley. By the time we hit the 13th, I want to wind it to the later 12th, something very interesting happens. We have two lows, both 987, positioned over Quebec, bringing along pretty heavy storms. And this will eventually merge into a 984 and move north. Eventually, by the end of the model, we'll move a 990 located right on the border between Nova Scotia and Maine. Now, we're going to be looking at the ensemble models. So, going to the EPS. The EPS is, right now, is calling for a ridge which takes up the mid-Atlantic northeastern seaboard into the eastern seaboard. Have this cold will come through and basically force the warmth out, bring along some pretty cold air. This will eventually get forced out by warmth, which will basically make a omega block, which will create some pretty warmth air. Like, I doubt this is going to be how warm it is. It's probably going to be a bit warmer. And then we have extreme cold located off of California, which I don't know why. And then this ridge continues to go before finally, after the first and second settles down, creating this wild jet stream. I mean, I want you to take a look at this jet stream. Follow the lines with me. It starts going off into Canada, swooping down into Mexico before going up into the northeast. I am not even kidding. That's pretty insane. Then by the time we hit the end of the model one, again, the jet stream looks wild. Looking like either like this or looking like this, which still pretty bad. Anyway, we're going to review the GEFS because that's longer. So let's look at right now. We're going to need to look at, as you can see, they're calling for the ridge moving more of the east, and is even like if you live in like South or North Carolina, it's basically out of there now. And then by the time we hit the 29th, that warmth is basically out of here, except for parts of eastern Maine. And bringing along a cold bubble again. Yeah, sorry, I'm sick, so I know I sound tired and quiet, but I'm just not feeling well. But I wanted to put a video out to you guys though. So by the time we hit the 30th, we have a warm block over like the south, like the deep south, the southeast, and the jet stream's looking something like this with a big cold block over. And then usually what this model does is likes to amplify storms, so like amplify temperature and storms, so it looks like way more severe than it actually is. So yeah, you can see that ridge build pretty good, and again, having the similar thing happen with that little tiny warm bubble sitting in the corner of the model, but then you could just see it merge and create like a pretty big warm area. But don't worry, this isn't going to be as severe as it is, and it looks like a weird warm block just sits in the west for a while. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, deep cold entering the eastern U.S. on the 4th. And basically taking over the area here. By the time we hit the 5th, we have a tiny war bubble in Iowa and a pretty big cold bubble on the east and pretty big cold bubble on the west. However, it looks like, because if you don't know, cold and warm air battle. Like, they battle each other out. And it looks like the warmth wins in this one. As you can see, the cold is gone. And I guarantee you, the rest of this model will not happen. Maybe this later part here where that cold bubble develops. But there's no way this will happen where we have a jet looking like this. This is way too simple. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.